All right, we going.
Sponsored by Red Bull.
Previously on Curse of Strahd, Relearn, you found yourself in Castle Ravenloft with Esmeralda d'Avenir. You were searching for the Tome of Strahd, but you knew to go up to the highest tower where the tome was, you had to dive into the depths of the castle itself. You, making your way through this castle, ran into many of its patrons, but finally were able to ascend with the help of a vampire named Escher, who warned you that though you may be chosen by Strahd as a pupil, you were but one of many, and you would soon take his place. You found this tome, brought it down to the depths of the castle, following a still small voice of Gyro. It told you to the brazier, and you went. Just there, Strahd came through the portal, apparently from Mount Gacchus and the Amber Temple. But in that moment, he knew that you had his book. He reached for it, using his mage hand. He slid that book from your jacket, and you were able to grab it just in time. Suddenly, the world spun around you, and you were transported back, viewing a memory long ago. A memory where you learned that Mordenkainen was the one responsible for Gyro's death. You suddenly came back to this world and realized that you went back in time. Moments before Strahd had ever entered the room, you waited outside as he came in, unaware of your presence, and left. You jumped, running through that portal which had opened, and found yourself suddenly at the precipice of Mount Gacchus. Meanwhile, Annalie and Amadeus were ascending the mountain with Casimir in search of this temple so that he might resurrect his long-dead sister. She had been killed by the Dusk Elves long ago when they learned of her plan to marry Strahd, and her pact she was to make with the Dark Force to turn her to be, much like him, a vampire. You found yourselves amidst many wanton spirits, claiming to be figures that you knew, but they were not. Lenore, she wasn't there, and Strahd, he wasn't right. You found yourself face to face with Relearn, and yet it wasn't him. And suddenly, as these angels appeared, turning, splitting into demons, you found yourself all but lost when suddenly Relearn appeared there with you, the real Relearn, at the top of the mountain. Running away from these spirits, you found yourselves in an avalanche and fell into a small valley at the top of this mountain. There, in the wind-blown peak of Mount Gacchus, you saw it, carved into the mountainside, a temple, the temple. And now all of you together, you stand there in the wind, looking at the face of evil. You can feel it on the breeze, voices that you can't hear, a presence unknown to you. And you make your way near snowblind, trudging through the snow, on your way to the gates of this Amber Temple. And that is where we will begin. So, leading the way, Casimir is hiking through the snow. It goes up to about your knees. Relearn, you are dangerously low. You're on health.
Is he next to us?
He is. You see him frozen, and the way he walks, he's extremely injured. You actually see blood flaking off in the snow behind him as he walks. You yourself, Amadeus, are worse for wear. And all of you are frozen to the core. Each of you have a level of exhaustion, which means that you take disadvantage on saving throws.
You're
Can I hear relay real quick?
Sure. Describe how you do so.
I'm just gonna go. I'm assuming am I behind this is where we are?
Yeah, we'll say this is sort of your marching order here.
Isn't Casimir first?
Yes.
And then,
Let's say it's something like this.
Who's the red thing?
The red thing is
That
the
little
little
girl.
Kavani girl, Giorta.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't met her yet. Gotcha. Okay.
She's in the
I
front, so don't
remember
worry.
her.
She's covered in furs of a black fox, antlers that protrude from her, and she walks on snowshoes above the snow.
That's not very pretty. I'll turn around. I'm gonna turn around and just kind of put my hand on Miller's shoulder and heal him. So you look very good.
Actually, how much health do you do?
Let's see. 7, 12, 14. That's low, but I used all the 6, so.
Dang. Oh, heck yeah, but... Thank you.
Of course. How did you get here?
Do I hear this? Or not really?
The wind is pretty loud, so it's hard for you to.
Oh, I guess I'm probably like yelling more or less at the time.
Yeah. You're yelling like this.
You get here! I went through the castle.
Through the castle.
There. You remember how Annalie got to Casimir's or Kazan's tower?
Right, I do remember that.
You better, because it happened. That is exactly what happened. And you were
After
there.
her death,
Right.
she
right.
appears
Okay.
suddenly
That
in a
makes
flash of
Yes.
lightning.
Flashback.
There you go. In black and white, you see this, and now suddenly you're here once again.
I used the same method. There. It's incredible. I don't know how else, where else it can go, but it's amazing.
Well, did you find what you were looking for?
I did. Very excited about it. I think I might keep it hidden for now, though.
Let's get out of this cold.
Indeed, I'm frigid.
Imagine how we feel going up this whole thing.
Wait, why are you here? I don't remember you guys.
No, I don't think I actually ever told you.
I didn't know you were climbing up the mountain.
Did I show you the letter from Glenfin?
No, you
I had a letter from Glenfin telling
Really?
me I should leave Barovia. He sent me over to,
You're planning on leaving.
if I can.
Really?
I have no need to be here anymore.
No, yeah. Of course not.
Do I
The
still
only
not
reason I
notice
would
them
be
talking?
here is Annalie.
You can overhear them yelling,
She
though it's
would come
difficult
with
to
me,
hear.
but she won't.
You're able to pick up on pieces of it. If you
Dark
think.
elf. Glenfin sent me to the dark elves. Literally, he can help me. That's what we're figuring out. Which is why I'm here.
Well. Alright then, well, I guess there's nothing else here for you. Good thing we're here. Who knows what powers are inside this temple.
Guess we'll find out.
Yes.
Anna, you see Casimir as he lingers a moment, looking back over his shoulder. Who's your friend?
His name's
I
Rizan.
don't know.
Who is this guy?
He's a good friend. He's been with us from the beginning. He's a wizard. I don't know how he showed up here, but
trusted.
In ways.
That's fair.
I get it.
Continues walking on. You arrive now at the face of this cliffside. Great stone columns tower above you, thick as tree trunks, and higher than cedars. You see in between them stone statues of cloaked men, their faces hidden. As you look closer, the snow that sticks to them obscures their true nature. The stone isn't gray and dull like the rest of the mountain, but glows with the very faintest amber hue. They're carved from solid blocks of amber. Before you is a doorway, open. But I'll do this. Open. Just a solid black doorway. It's almost as if the light bouncing off all the snow, dim as it may be, completely omits any sort of information that might be had within these walls.
I'd like to go around. Little space right there.
A little bit of room.
Truthfully, you're all outside.
Oh.
This is a solid wall. It stands about this high relative to you, and the mountain proceeds behind it. All of it carved purely out of the stone there. Casimir walks forward. I don't know your name.
Glenn, and yours?
Casimir. What's your purpose here?
See what I can get from this place.
Very well. Same goes as inside is out. We stay together. It has a way of changing, so I hear. My sister warns me there are many things that should not be touched. I'm not your master, but thank you for coming with me. Shall we? He steps into that abyss, seems to disappear. Ahead of him, actually, the young girl who had not spoken another word to you disappeared. She had wandered off somewhere ahead of him.
I go walk through the door.
As you do, you feel the wind break. It's every bit as cold on the inside as out. In fact, in some ways, it feels colder. Without the wind, there's no rustling wind chill as it blows through you, but still, there's a great presence here. The hairs on the back of your neck, they seem to rise and they stay risen, as if someone is watching you, as if many things are watching you. You walk in these halls absolutely silent, even your footsteps seem muffled as you proceed forward, and now you're able to see each other. As you walk through this main hall, you initially see arrow slits, or perhaps it would have been guarded before by warriors. Would anyone like to roll for perception?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you tell us, yes.
You don't have to, but you could if you want.
Sweet. I got a 19. But then I don't even like add it, so 20 something.
12.
I got a
Okay.
15.
I got the
Okay.
Roll pretty
Yeah.
poorly.
19.
Pretty
Okay.
poorly.
I mean, it's
What-
still 12.
Anna, where are you walking?
I was behind Casimir.
You're behind Casimir.
Yeah.
Relern, where are you?
You was
Well,
next to Amadeus.
You're next to Amadeus.
I would have been one of the first people to walk
Okay, you kind of walk through first. Amadeus, I assume you were kind of last.
We're in the back.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved
Where are
ahead.
you looking as you walk
My
through
hand
this
was
hallway?
on the
You
floor.
see arrow slits on both sides.
I'm looking at the left side.
To the left?
Yeah.
Are you looking to the left or to the right?
I'm looking to the left.
You're looking to the left.
Oh, I'm leaning to the right.
Okay. As you walk through, Anna, you see empty rooms and no doorways within those rooms.
Just open? Like an open like this?
It's an arrow slit with a solid stone blocked room inside. There's perhaps rubble in the corners, but other than that, there's nothing else in those rooms. No doorway to enter them
This
either.
small.
The arrow slits are perhaps about 4
Yeah.
inches wide, about 2 feet tall. Relearn, same thing that you see on your side. However, there is a curled up corpse, shriveled, mummified, and it grasps something within its clenched hands, a stick, and you recognize it to be a wand.
Harry Potter. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
You continue to walk.
Yes.
You lingering for a moment as you wonder, and then proceed forward. As you come inside this main great hall, you're greeted with an unpleasant sight. There, standing against that far wall, is a large
This guy.
stone onyx
This guy.
statue
Oh, it's a statue. Okay.
of a demon. There, that same demon you faced on the mountain stares down that hallway straight into you as you come to this mezzanine here. There in this great hall, as you look out, you see, in fact, there are doors on the far end here. No stairways leading up, but there are overhangs where underneath there might be other rooms. And in fact, on this side of him, to the left, is a doorway that had been busted open. You see vaguely into the interior of it. It looks to be shattered stone and rubble. On the right-hand side is another door made completely of amber, sealed tight, and as the light of your eyes adjusts, you see now that amber glows with that of the ceiling archways above you that also glow. The entire ceiling of this room is made carved of amber. Casimir steps up to that balcony, silent awe. And you hear something, laughter. And then shouts, "No, stay back! Stay back!"
Oh, it's the little girl.
You hear it coming from this direction. And in fact, you actually see the faintest glow of light over here. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I want to walk over to the door.
I want to stop him as he's walking by, though.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Checking it out.
I don't think it's worth it.
I'll be sneaking.
That's not what I'm worried about. There are presences here that we know nothing about, nor how they could trick us. Could be real, could not be. What?
Is it just like the angels?
What angels?
You missed that part. Oh, never mind.
I guess.
Fair enough.
Let's just stay together.
Casimir stays there. Anna, what are you doing?
I'm not just next to him.
Stand
looking
next to
around. Yeah.
Okay. And he stares sort of out in awe over all the amber as it glows. The two of you go up to the doorway here. No,
I believe
stop.
I'm not going to it.
Yeah.
We're not going. Okay.
This doorway is open. It's just kind of an arch here. That light spills forth. No? Okay, you do hear sort of yells and shouting, but it's not quite violent. It's more confused. It's in that other tongue, that of the clans. You recognize the druid tongue, though you don't speak it. As they sort of speak, you hear the name Jordan. Name of the girl. Yeah, what do you do?
What are you supposed to be doing there? Don't want to just stand here.
Are you guys over there or are you by us?
Of course not.
Are
We
you guys
probably would have walked back over
Okay.
to the rest of the group.
I definitely don't want to go towards that statue.
Well,
I'm just surprised we do not touch it.
that's
I
definitely.
don't think I would.
Let's not. Perhaps the amber door.
Amadeus, you feel there, nestled in your jacket, Stefan. You were keeping him warm. See, sort of
Relearn. How
pokes
did
his
you
head
get
out.
here?
You just put him back in.
I was in the castle. Castle Ravenloft.
Why did you go?
I had some business there. I was trying to find something in one of the books. I was not able to find it last time I was there,
I see.
but I got it.
You did get it.
Yes.
And you have it here.
Yes.
Can I see it? I'm not gonna
I don't know.
take
I don't.
it from you. I just
No,
want to see it.
I understand. I am worried about bringing it out in the temple, though, is the thing. I can share it with you when we get out. But right
I'd like to
in
see it.
here, I'm a little worried about it.
Alright. So then how did you all of a sudden show up here?
Same way you came to Kazan's tower. I was teleported here.
Through the mist.
No. Oh, I guess you would.
Through the
There's.
clouds.
No, then I guess it was different. I assumed it was the same thing.
I was lied to.
I was lied to.
I came through a storm.
I came through a teleporter, a doorway straight here.
You just showed up. Interesting. Well, you're here.
Yes,
And this is the place you've been wanting to go.
indeed. Yes, I'm very excited and very nervous and cautious. This is a dangerous place.
I know.
I can feel it,
We all can. Surprised we don't touch anything.
but Tracy is going to be very tricky for many of us. There's already something in the hallway that I wanted to grab, but
Which was what?
there was a wand.
A wand.
I don't know what kind, what it does, but I don't want to touch it regardless.
So you advise us to go through the amber doors. I'd rather go through that than the other two.
It makes sense if we're trying to get deeper into the temple to go through amber doors. So anything signifying that, I would suggest we try to go through there.
My suggestion though, what if that thing, as we go towards the door, comes after us? Should we just run? What I guess.
Yes. I would not want to face that right now.
No,
Alright.
that's the same creature that was out of the
Yes.
mountain, correct? Yes.
I say we stay together so no one's left behind.
Of course.
And then let us just keep an eye on it as we walk down to the door. And let's go through that.
Yes.
Sounds
Yes.
like a plan.
Let's do that.
I think I smell food by the door.
You smell it.
Don't go, Amadeus. You might be tempted.
No, wait. Don't touch anything.
You see here, this doorway that is amber, you see this one was also amber, but is shattered. Pieces, large chunks of this great stone lay spilled out across the floor. Where'd you go?
What do you do? We're gonna go to the intact
Do you lead?
Yeah, I'll leave.
Okay. Who you follow? Who's? I assume this is the order. As you come down towards that doorway, the presence of that statue above you, you feel the evil emanating from it. Yeah, it does not move. As you draw closer and closer, you see there that amber has a very faint glow, and it nearly seems to hum with life. Inaudible to the ear, and you feel it deep within your stomach.
Can I roll? Can I roll insight?
Sure.
Door?
Yeah. What are you trying to determine?
I want to see if it feels like the right way. Like if the evil presence is getting stronger if I go this way.
Okay.
16.
You find it very difficult to ascertain anything beyond the great overwhelming cloud of evil that seems to rest within this temple. Everywhere is dangerous. And as you sense the energy coming from that door, you know that it too must be dangerous. You can't help but think whatever had burst out of the previous door might be behind that one as well.
I'm gonna touch the door and open it.
Okay. This is a large doorway filled completely with solid amber. It glows. There are no latches, doorknobs, no discernible grooves or patterns, but you step forward to it. How would you try and open it?
Push,
Okay.
because there's not really any.
You press against it, and it feels solid as stone. It's cold, and it saps any sort of warmth that was left in your fingers out of you.
Maybe we have to break it like the other one. Maybe that's why the other one's broken. It's solid. If somebody has come in here, that door, is it open? Like, would we have seen it has an opening in it?
Oh, it's completely burst open. It's burst out. Stones, large chunks of amber spilled out on the floor here. It's kind of broken in a jagged hump as something clearly burst out of it. But the doorway stays open there.
I know Strahd was here. And if he was, I mean, he could have closed this up, I guess, but the other one is already open and he could be here still.
That is true. Should we try just going through the other one then? It's already open.
Yes, I think that would be a good idea.
We can always come back here.
Sure. Alright, yeah.
Move your pieces how you walk over to there.
I'm gonna go back up the stairs. I'm not trusting this place.
Okay. You walk back.
Yep.
Are you all following?
Yeah.
Casimir just sort of lingers there. You sure the door's right there?
Don't cross over. We don't know this temple.
He looks out over at the symbols they're drawn on the floor.
Just in case.
Can I roll for Arcana for those?
Sure.
Oh, 10.
You don't know the magic, although you do discern that it had some purpose in the arcane. Whatever hex was laid upon it, perhaps it was broken.
Never know.
It doesn't seem to have an aura about it anymore.
The symbols are definitely arcane, but there's a chance that they've been disabled. Let us not risk
coming from this room beyond here.
I continue to walk.
Keep going.
I don't even hesitate.
You come this way. As you head back down these stairs, you see then on either side there is a slight overhang, and then another set of doors here and here. These ones open archways. But as you walk closer to this room, you see, in fact, it isn't very deep at all. It is perhaps this size.
There's a guy in there. We're not going in.
And inside that room, you see these stone walls creased with strings of amber and gold coins that litter the floor. All across the paved stones. It's as if something large had walked and crashed across these stones. In fact, now that you walk here, Amadeus, you notice that it looks to be a bipedal creature, something large, as it walked, smashing through that door and stamped across this ground here, an imprint of a large foot. As it came this way, treaded up these stairs, which also, you realize now, have been shattered in some ways. Heavy, it marched across and through this doorway somewhere. You go closer, or what do you do in this room? You see the end of it there. It's sort of a cave-like structure carved out of the solid
Nothing.
stone. You see the remnants of chests bursted open. Weapons, swords twisted, lying on the ground. Gold coins that had spilled. You see jewelry broken and strewn about. Scrolls, parchment that have been torn and shredded. Others that have been stamped and creased that lay all about the floors. It looks to be some sort of treasure room.
Oh, just the way that.
Yeah, not anymore.
I guess we'll try breaking it out.
What do we even have that's strong enough to do that, though?
What is it? Just use your staff.
My staff is not going to do that. My staff
Something
is-
broke
Do you
through
have
this.
any spells? Lightning?
No, I could ricochet off. It's a stone.
Yes.
Maybe that is also just a treasure here, whatever this is. Maybe the way is through one of the other doors. I do not know.
Roll for perception.
Oh.
Mine's on my three.
24.
24? None of you notice, except for Amadeus at the back. You see that little druid girl. She comes down the steps there. You,
Where did you go?
my friends, they are up here.
Your friends. Are they friendly?
They are to me.
What are they to us?
They will be.
Why
Would you
should-
come?
Why should I trust you?
Trust me or not, it's one.
Who's this?
You showed me a kindness. This woman there.
Do they all hear this?
You can now. Yeah. After she speaks, it startles you.
Well,
Who is this?
someone that we stumbled upon us while we camped up on the mountain.
On the mountain, you found this little girl.
Yes. It's
What clan lives here on the mountain?
She's about 16 in
How much more?
we helped her, so she's been kind to us. She said her friends are up the stairs.
age. They're in this room.
It's down, you can stay here where it's still cold.
very tentative to follow. Are we sure she's not one of them?
We don't know.
You all follow. As you come over this direction, in fact, you make it through this doorway and you see that glow, that light of a fire comes from this room just over here. Right where the ranch is, in fact.
Oh, excellent.
There are a series of steps that step up towards this room. The young girl, Jorda, she goes running up. And she makes some sort of sign with her hands. Come in. Who is this? You see inside 4 of them. They too set up sort of these animal skin tents. And in the center of them, there's a fire that glows red, and I do not have a fire. There's a fire there. They sit around it. And then suddenly they go to stand up. They draw up spears as they see you in the doorway.
I'm gonna hold my hands up.
Jorda Kian. As they sort of talk in this druidic tongue, suddenly one of them speaks forth. Who are you?
You're just trekking up the mountain. Your friend stumbled upon us, so we helped her. She was cold. We warmed her up.
How do you know you are not part of this temple?
Say the same thing to you.
Very wise to say the same thing to me. You tell this boy is maybe about 17 years old. He has sort of shocks of blonde hair stuck in them and weaved with sticks.
What are you all doing out here?
What is it to you?
I'm curious.
I am not curious.
You didn't ask. I asked the question.
I would not like to answer. We know your type to come to this mountain. You seek something, no?
Yes.
You will not find it. You find death here.
How do we know you're not lying to us?
Why would I lie about death?
What if death has already found us?
He looks at you, sort of taken aback. Do I know you?
Maybe.
One of them whispers to the boy. Another girl, she sort of, her hair set up in big matted dreadlocks. She looks over at you and whispers to him in their tongue. You were with him that night.
Do I recognize where they would be from? Because
You recognize them to be druids.
yeah, from
And you would suppose, yes or no? You may sit.
I'm over to sit down.
Are these your friends?
Is he asking me?
Yes.
Must be asking.
Yes.
Are these your friends?
Yes.
How do you know?
That they are my friends.
Yes.
Teach.
This temple is full of magics and illusions. Devilry.
They are my friends. We have not split since we've come into this temple.
Jorta was split with us, but she knew the sign. You should have some sort of sign.
What is the sign for you?
The sign you make with your hands. Ours is difficult, so that it cannot be replicated so easily. It was practiced before we had come.
So what do you suggest we do?
Come up looks over to you and waves you in.
I walk in.
Casimir steps forward, but is a little bit tentative as he sort of leans off to the side. What do you do once you walk into this room? You see them they take their seats again, but hold on to their spears, seated across their laps, some of them with bows.
Who's the main guy?
He will be the green one.
I jump by
Jorda goes and sits down next to another boy. She sort of bumps into him and starts unstrapping her snowshoes.
Why?
How is it that you all survive in here? You say death comes, then you can come in. Here you are.
We do not touch. We come not seeking things, not seeking knowledge. We come here for visions.
Visions.
Visions. The mountain grants them.
So you just sit in this room and get visions.
Sometimes
Do you venture further into the temple?
I do not wish to, but some choose. It is a rite of passage for my people. We come here, and when we leave, we are part of the tribe. Why do you come?
We all have different reasons. But most of us, it's answers.
Answers. We are told never to trust the visions, but they strengthen us in showing us lies.
What kind of visions do you get?
All sorts, nightmares mostly.
Do you sleep in the temple and then get the visions?
Yes, at night we sleep. Though it is difficult to discern the day from the night up here. The time it seems still.
Do you stay in here and then just leave? Or have you gone deeper into the temple?
We track for 7 days as best we can, and then we leave.
7 days?
Yes. Kaitu, he might choose to stay longer. He says he likes it here. He's off now, wandering.
So he went deeper into the temple.
He does. He says he does not touch, but I've seen he came back just yesterday with a ring.
Was it rain?
Who broke the door?
We do not know. It was broken before we had arrived.
When did you arrive?
Well, they seem
Today?
like animal footprints. Footsteps. The stairs are broken, so it must have been something big.
Not that I have seen. I stay in this room. Perhaps you ask Kaitu when he comes back. We have been here about 3 days.
When will your friend be back?
When he wishes. You may rest now with us if you will. Get warm.
Thank you.
Do you sort of just stay around the fire for a bit? Is there anything you'd like to do as you wait?
Should we learn hand movements?
Should learn the hand signal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
Ready?
Too easy.
Yeah, it's too easy.
Any demon can
Yeah.
do
Demon's
that.
not gonna do that. Demon's gonna be too embarrassed to do that.
The Macarena?
How far are we going? 4 turns?
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
Can I roll to come up with the hand signal?
Sure, yeah. All of you could roll. Let's see. Do you want to roll? Let's roll charisma.
There you go.
Charisma? Oh, okay.
Oh,
13?
9.
Natural 20.
13.
Bruh.
Amadeus
Yeah.
comes up with some sort of hand signal. Would you like to present it to the class?
Dang.
Please.
Come on.
It's gonna be Oscar from the office.
As you present it to the others, you're able to teach them slowly, and they follow. You hear the whispering and chatter from the others, the children, as they sort of laugh at you. you actually
Summon my
realize
sword on
now, though there are tents set up and the fire casts a strange glow about the room, you're actually in a sort of schoolroom. There were desks that have been pushed aside up against the sides of the walls, pews, and up against this far back wall now, sitting on the floor, is a large slate of stone that had been drawn upon and then wiped away. You are able to roll one of your hit dice and gain some health back.
Yes.
Oh.
Which, just our
Can we get
die?
rid of our level of exhaustion?
Yes, you may remove one level of exhaustion.
Ayo. One hit dice?
Actually, yeah, go ahead and roll for you can roll your hit dice.
Okay.
All?
How many are there? Let's say half of them, probably.
Half of them.
Half of your hit dice
We have
rounded
8 hit dice right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Roll half of your hit dice.
Is there a dice just a d6? Or is it
Yours might be.
Yours, I think
That
it's
is
just D8. I think
Yeah,
it's just
or
D8.
D8.
Can I regain some of my health, my spell slots?
Yes, you may.
All of
I'm
them?
at
Or
Do you want
can
us to tell you
regain
what we're at?
half of them?
You want us to tell you where we're at?
Yes, please.
Mine's 77. No.
Can I regain half of them rounded up? Because some of the my spell slots I have 3.
49.
Amadeus, 49.
49er.
49er.
Ayo. 2, 3, 9, 12. Alright. I'm at 27.
27. Okay. You wait here for some time in warm. Casimir stands off to the side, twiddling with his ring. He does not go near the fire. But as he notices, Anna, you're having a hard time keeping warm, he eventually walks over to you and holds out his hand like this.
Are you warm?
He drops the ring in your hands again. He sort of stands there by the fire, just silent.
Do I notice this?
You do see the interaction.
Sorry.
What's that?
It's a ring that keeps you warm.
A ring that keeps you warm.
Kevin, you see now, child, standing outside the doors, standing there. Alright, sensei. Kaibo. He's Japanese. Ryan would be
That's what I
proud.
thought,
I know that.
As he speaks, he suddenly goes, "What are these?" "They are guests," Jordan says. "Come on." He goes and does the sign. She does it back to him. And he steps inside the room there. You see him holding something in his hand as he sticks it in his pocket. What was that? Nothing. What was it? He said it was nothing. You see this older boy as he sort of steps around the fire and comes up to him. He grabs him by the scruff of his shirt and then goes for his pocket. He's like, "Hey, step back. You said it was nothing. You're lying."
Is this pocket open?
Yeah, they're kind of loose fitting.
Can I
pockets.
see inside of it, kind of?
Are you gonna try it too? Yeah.
They're gonna need
Yeah,
you.
go ahead and roll for insight or roll for perception.
Okay. 22?
22. Yeah, you can see in there. There seems to be a string of metal, maybe a necklace, pendant, something.
I'd like to cast Mage Hand and grab it out of his pocket.
Yeah, you see it lift then out of his pocket, springing suddenly. It sort of jingles with a. He goes,
And
"Hey!"
I'm just having it held in the air.
You kind of hold it out away from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes to kind of reach for it, and the boy pushes it back. You're touching things. He goes, "What?" and suddenly, out in the hallway, you hear it. A sort of thud. The stomping of feet. Great feet. Heavy. Down this hallway. Coming this direction. What do you do?
I'd like to fling the necklace towards the sound.
Towards where?
Towards where the sound is coming from.
Okay, it strings out, and you hear it sort of, and he sort of backs up into the room. I didn't think he saw me. He
What?
sort of steps back.
What was it?
Statue.
Of what?
Amber, I don't know. It was just a creature.
Alright.
They all sort of stand on guard here. What do we do? What do you do? You fool! You hear them begin to cuss at him in their language. They start, and one of them slaps him over the head. Just, grab your things, quick, hide! They sort of run about in this room here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hide.
Yeah, hide. Okay.
I'm gonna hide.
Where do you go?
I'm gonna go behind this one.
I'm gonna go on the farther one.
Farther one.
Yeah.
Jordan,
Where do you go?
you wanna hide with me?
I'm gonna turn to a raven and hide.
A little
Stefan?
raven.
Okay, you turn to a raven.
Yeah, stuff is here.
Yeah, Stefan suddenly springs from your body. That's one of the squabs.
Yeah. That's what
Pull him by the ear.
Get back here.
Yeah, you're suddenly a raven. Where do you go?
Somewhere I probably hide behind him or
Okay.
Maybe two ravens.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna hold out a roller's shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, great. As you do that, you see some stuff themselves inside the tent. Casimir sort of lays here, pressed up against the wall, as suddenly a larger than this, but I don't have one, a large amber golem comes stepping up into the room. It looks around a moment and sees the fire as it walks over to it, and suddenly with its foot raised, crushes it. Ash goes splintering, embers go scattering across the floor as it looks around and sees the faintest bit of movement in this tent here.
I'm gonna fly by him
Okay.
and try to lead him away.
Okay. Okay. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
No, baby.
You got it.
Oh, that's a 21, baby.
21. Okay, great. Yeah, you see this great hand, faster than you expected, swat at you, just and moves through the air. It actually pushes you as the air around you seems to drop out from underneath you, and you go falling for a moment, catch yourself, and fly out of the room over here, this direction. He goes looking that direction
I'm
there.
gonna caw at it.
Okay, yeah, you do.
Alright.
You start cawing, and it sort of looks over at you. Standing there before that tent, it takes another step, looking down, and moves, shifting its weight, suddenly coming towards you. And there it sees Casimir.
Oh,
Damn it, Casimir!
idiot.
How terrible had you
He's
fly!
just
What are you doing?
He's just in the corner. Not even.
This great
This guy.
amber statue
He's an
comes.
idiot.
So he just stands there, and suddenly he goes invisible.
Okay, thank God.
Why didn't you do that in the first place?
Yeah, what idiot.
Well, come on. The thing turns and looks, turning back. It sees that tent, the faintest bit of movement.
Can I caw
Walks
again?
towards it. You caw, but as it walks over that tent, it sort of steps into it.
I'm turning back into a
You hear
werewolf.
this
I'm gonna turn into a
squelch.
wereraven. Actually, I'm turning back into myself. Sorry about that.
You're switching between weird things.
I'm
Yeah, the tent is flat. You shoot an arrow at it?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll the hit.
This gotta be a high AC.
That is
8. You string an arrow, you let it fly, and it goes bouncing off of its skull. It just it goes flittering off, and it turns for a moment. You hear this great crying scream of someone that was inside that tent. They've been squashed, but they're still alive. As it sort of bounces off of its head, it goes stepping forward as the tent sort of rides about a bit. It takes another step, and that screaming is suddenly cut short as it goes, ah! It squashes them there. You hear this sort of gasping, and suddenly
gonna-
they go running.
Yeah,
from the
I'm
room.
gonna run. I'm gonna push them through and run with them.
You hear this
I'll
great,
run right
yeah, this scream in that other language. Yado! As they start running out of the room, the golem it turns, looking at as they start to flee. You go with them.
I'm running.
Okay.
I stand perfectly still.
Okay.
Drags.
What?
I said okay, drags.
They go running from that room as fast as they can, and you see he's about to converge with you as you're just behind him. You freeze. What do you do?
No, I'm sprinting,
You
man.
sprint. Okay. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
See, dexterity. I knew it. It was coming handy.
Great call. Great call.
Oh yeah,
What'd you
20.
get?
Yeah.
None of that, but it's 20.
Ah,
baby.
okay.
It goes swinging at you, just
So
springing this
good.
great paw down at you. As you sort of duck out of the way, it misses. It goes forward into the hall, chasing the others. As you sort of run out this direction past it and out before it, as it sort of then steps out sideways past you, right where Amadeus was.
Hi, sir.
What do you do, Amadeus? As it sort of comes towards you, it's going to roll to hit.
I'm gonna go that way.
That direction.
That's the direction I'm going.
Yeah.
Does a 19 hit?
Yeah, it's a 19.
Ooh. Okay. That's a good start.
You take 17 damage as it sort of just
Wait, 2 attacks or 1 attack?
Aren't you a
with
werewolf?
one attack.
You're a werewolf.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang
as
it.
it
Regular,
bats at you. It sends you
Help, I got
roll for
back.
strength.
Oh shoot, he's gonna try to grapple.
Okay, yeah, you go flying out and hit that mezzanine there. You actually go flying over it
Ooh, can I
and land there.
No, it's my best case scenario.
Okay. I was gonna try to. Oh yeah, probably.
Get some away from him.
I was gonna say I was gonna try to grab you, but maybe it's better to be over
You take
there.
5 more damage as you hit the ground here. Just with this heavy.
Wait, can I like
That arrow's
try to
not
aware before I fall?
I'm gonna say in this moment, no. Just you hit the ground there as it flings you out. It's now learn. What do you do?
Does it look like he's turning any specific way? Or going
He
any way?
had just hit Amadeus there as he sort of marches forward a few steps, looking down at him over this sort of
Oh, that's the wrong one. Shoot. This one. He's less than 15 feet away from the mezzanine, though, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna cast Gust of Wind to push him forward. No, wait. That was
that's
dumb.
towards me.
That was dumb. I'm
on top of it.
I'm gonna lightning bolt him.
Okay. Roll the. Do you have to roll
That's a
the hit or
dexterity
do I
saving throw for him.
roll? What's he got to beat?
I got 15.
He beats it.
Oh, you're kidding. Okay, that's still half damage.
Okay.
That is, what is it? That's 8d6 to 4.
Okay.
3, 9, 12 damage.
12 damage? Okay. Okay, you see lightning strike it, and suddenly it goes sort of in through the amber. It glitters about for a bit, traveling down through its hands as it goes out and rounds through its feet, skittering about the floor. It seems to notice the jolt for a moment, straightening and turning back this direction, and suddenly it goes stomping towards the others as they
We're
run.
through the room, man.
Okay, yeah. And a roll
Yeah.
for athletics.
Oh, yeah. 26.
26? Okay. With the 26, you are out of that room first. You actually make it out of the room and you see Amadeus go sprawling over that. And you see him hit the ground there. Do you go towards him or do you go out towards this other room here?
Okay.
The others, do you pause for a moment or do you just continuous run?
I pause for a second.
Okay, as you pause for a second, the others kind of catch up to you. And
Can I scream, get out?
Sure. Yeah.
I would say, get out!
They go and they pause. Jordan sort of looks at you. She stands looking at the way out.
Yeah.
And they look at each other in fear. One of them shakes his head at the other, and Jordan.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna motion and run this way with them then.
They
Let's
sort
go.
of run this direction. Okay, you run that direction
Yeah.
towards.
We're
Okay.
on through the door,
Great.
man. We're out.
This creature, Amber Golem, comes stomping through this doorway towards you. Learn, what are you doing?
Xander respected lightning bolt.
I know, right? We got it. These two kids are still here, right?
Yeah, they are. This one is looking over that body, sort of trying to help, but it's too late. That body's been squashed
That's so
inside.
weird.
I'm gonna turn around. Alright, you two have to get out of here. You can't stay here. We have to meet up with the others.
I can't leave. I can't leave.
We have to.
We cannot leave.
Where can you go? Or what can you do? Fine, stay here then. Keep quiet. Do not move if you see them come
They
by.
sort of squat down there, hiding amongst the squelched body parts of their friend.
Just stay quiet and stay away from all of this. And I'm gonna start moving towards the door. I saw him like leave through the door though, right?
You saw him go this direction. You do see this mezzanine here. It's sort of a half wall that then opens up to
Should I
another.
kind of like duck down behind it then?
You duck down here.
Yeah, against the mezzanine.
Yeah. Do you look over and see Amadeus, or are you just kind of squatting?
I'm gonna just squat down for right now.
Yeah, you squat down there, and as you do, Amadeus, you see Casimir suddenly, as he comes into existence, lean down over you. He sort of grabs your hand and heaves you up to your feet. Just quiet. Here, come here. Just hide. He sort of draws you over towards the statue. Hide in my stealth. Okay, you do that, and this amber golem comes running through the hall towards Anna. Anna, where do you go?
Through the door.
Okay. Through this doorway here, you come to another room. I might need a little room here.
I'll move it. That's fine.
You come to just a single room, actually. It's not a hall. It's a single room like this. Stepping into it, you see there is another set of doors on this side here, but other than that, it's just barren rubble. It seems like pieces of the temple had fallen down on
Like
top
big
of
ones?
it here.
Big
Yeah,
pieces of
large
rubble?
chunks, large pieces.
We're
of
hiding
rubble.
behind a big one. Wherever
Okay,
the.
you go and hide
Yeah.
back here.
And I'll tell them, I'll say, do not
Oh yeah.
Okay, these are large pieces of rubble.
I thought that was really
I'll just whisper,
Those
do
are
not move
enemies,
unless
that's
you want
just
to die.
animation.
Okay, go ahead and roll for stealth. Oh yeah.
What is it?
And
Okay, where are you hiding in this room?
I'm just hiding back here.
Back there, yeah, that piece. Okay.
So,
As they're running, the golem is just behind them, and this one did not quite duck down in time. As the golem comes running up towards them, it goes, raises both hands above itself, and drops it down on that rubble. He tries to jump out of the way, and its hands come down, smashing that rock on top of it. Just it goes splintering out. It hits him, and he goes rolling. He hits this other piece of stone here, alive, but bloody, as he sort of crawls along the floor, and the golem walks over and through these crushed stones towards him. You get a chance to do anything if you'd like to. No. Suddenly you see this child. She jumps out from behind the stone. Hey, hey! As the golem takes another step forward and crushes the legs of that child there. You see it in complete indifference, but something about how it walks, how it kills, is with complete malice. It first steps on its ankles and walks another step up its legs. All the while, the child is screaming. Blood comes spurting from its mouth there as this child, she draws an arrow and shoots it at it. It takes another step and the screaming stops. And she goes running. She runs for these doors here and goes with all of her might to open them. She's gonna roll for strength. She's able to open them just barely here and squeeze through, and the golem goes pounds through that door and begins walking down this hallway here. It's out of the room. Okay. It starts heading this direction. You hear them running down this hall. What do you do?
Can I lock eyes with this one? Can I see him, or can he see me? She, whatever.
You can, yes.
Amber
Oh,
Doll's
what's
gone.
this?
Fall lighted.
Yeah, you see them
Oh,
right
like-
here. You hear these footsteps descending down that hall, echoing. As they grow further and further away. There's no scream, no yell, but the voice and the footsteps resound only like a heartbeat might, somewhere further along the temple. Amadeus, you and Casimir, you wait there and you also hear that sound rescinding. Relearn,
Do I hear the sound?
yeah, you do as well. It's way further away. You did hear the screaming. Is there a way to what?
So I'm able to fly over this wall then.
This is actually a solid wall.
This
There
one?
are several arrow slits.
This is the one
this is the one that has an opening to them. It's
How big are the slits?
the arrow slits are small, probably about that big. You might be able to squeeze through as a raven, but you're unsure just by looking at it.
I'm just gonna fly over back to
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of.
Okay.
Oh, you're flying.
You suddenly take off this direction. You see him in raven form?
Yes.
Yeah, come flying up over that mezzanine there. Casimir looking up at you as you take off and then land. You turn back.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he lands there.
All right. We have to find Anna and move on.
Cross.
That's on her there too. We should head this way though. As soon as we get her, coming back, going this way.
I'll drop.
We're going, because you don't hear anyway.
Why don't you guys leave?
Well, we're about to, yeah, because I don't hear it anymore. I go and grab him, like, to protect him from seeing this image.
Okay, you do that.
Doing that.
He goes and he sort of peers past you, looking. You see his face turn sick. He clenches his jaw and walks with you out of that room. You pause here only for a moment to look down that hallway. You see no one. You continue to walk. You come finally out here.
And we see her come out then.
You do, yes.
Come on,
I'm going.
let's go.
Wherever they're pointing to.
You can walk in this direction. Oh, this is Jordan, by the way. This is not.
I was gonna say, I thought
this is
that was
girl. Yeah,
Jordan.
that's Jordan. That's Jordan.
That's Jordan.
Okay, you can walk this way. Casimir meets you at the top of the stairs here, and you go walking in this direction. So we will meet here.
All right. Let's go deeper down the hallway.
Who would it? Is it Jordan?
Jordan, yeah.
Are you sure you want to come with us?
I should find my friends.
There's a few more over there where the fire was.
It won't be safe.
Honestly, I don't think we can keep you safe either, so it is your call. Do you stay with your friends, or do you stay with us, where you at least have a chance? No option is safe, though.
I should see to my friends.
Go then. Alright. We're going deeper in, though.
She sort of goes and takes another step past you.
Especially now that that golem is gone, there's hopefully a safer chance going through it.
Your friends. This usually happens when you meet me.
Huh?
So this usually happens when people meet me. They just die. They just die.
Oh, alright. We have to be very careful.
Absolutely.
No touching anything.
Don't take anything.
There's
Nothing.
He kills another one of them. Crush them. Maliciously.
You hear just crying coming from this room here. As they sort of kneel over the dead.
We need to go.
Do you want us to lead?
I will.
Hold after you.
I will. He goes and puts a hand on your shoulder.
You said that?
Alright,
Casimir.
Casimir.
I was like, who the heck is that?
No, I will.
No, I will.
Yeah,
You see
no,
this
I
place.
will.
I brought you.
It
You
was
are my
our
responsibility.
choice. It was our choice to come here.
Casimir, are you really equipped to lead?
we should stumble upon something, it should be me.
Alright. Go ahead.
Okay, manifest. What direction? He sort of wraps himself in his jacket. Stands there.
My
Begins to
best
shiver.
my best guess is going deeper into the temple.
I'm gonna
Back
go
the
this
way the
way.
Amber Golem came. There must be something more if that child found something, was able to steal it. Must be something further down there.
We go that way.
And remember, we're not touching anything.
Everything. Got it.
You see him sort of just. Okay. This way. You go further towards this room, and there you see similar signs of that room down below, which had been broken out of by that golem. This room, its doors now off their hinges lay flat on the stone pavers before you, each of them crushed where the footsteps had been. That great creature. You go stepping on that door, it sort of creaks. Sort of takes another step sort of around it. And enters another room.
Is this a wood floor? Is this a wood floor?
Yeah.
It's creaking now.
No, it's the
He's
doors
walking
that he
on the
stepped
door.
over.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, this doesn't look like a group.
Wait a second.
I would like everyone to roll
There it is.
for Constitution.
Oh, heck yeah.
5.
22.
10.
5?
10.
Chronal shift.
You sure you want to waste it?
You sure?
No, not
No,
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a con.
Okay.
That's
No,
a,
yeah, no.
I think
You
it's okay.
two,
I don't want you to waste it.
the cold throughout this place, it's this great presence that sort of sits heavy like a cloud, and it's filled with that of voices inaudible. There's some great evil here beyond just the cold, but if you were to guess in our reality, this would be somewhere along the lines of maybe negative 20 degrees as you step through into this room.
Yeah.
Casimir continues to flick his ring faster and faster as he's in this room. You two failed your Constitution saving throw. You take that level of exhaustion back. Your
What level of
movement.
exhaustion?
A level of exhaustion means that you sort of begin to move slower,
Oh, okay.
but also you you take disadvantage on any saving throws.
Okay.
As you step into this room. This room is destroyed. It looked like perhaps there was some sort of idol that had been here. It is now crushed, completely dropped the bottom out of it. The walls have started to fall in, but there's a little circlet of stone that had been innately carved, and it's now crushed where the golem had come this direction.
Is there another door in this room?
There is. So you see it. It actually exits this direction. This one is barren, but you see now through these doors, one of them off their hinges, it's a double door. Here. But in this hallway, on the other side, actually I just need one of these. You see over here, this room continues in between these two. Whoop.
The door opens.
The door opens, and inside you're deaf. You see that open door.
What?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
all
okay.
right. Dang.
Yeah.
You see truly nothing in that room other than at the far end, a small pedestal similar to the one that was on this end of the room. But there, a little bronze statuette still remains. There seems to be some sort of rubble or decay clumped about it there on the ground.
Is there any amber in the room?
Amber, you do not see any amber, but you do see candle stands. One here, 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 and here. Do you come towards this room? Casimir sort of peers in through that door. There is a doorway. It is on this side. These really come in handy, huh?
Yeah. Dang.
It's on this side.
I'm worried about going further this way.
Why?
There's no amber over here. This is a temple of amber. Yet going this way, it leads to none. To me, going deeper into the temple would mean that there would be more amber the deeper we go.
Perhaps there is a staircase on the other side. Or perhaps we missed one on the way back.
Perhaps. I almost still want to go back to that door, though. The full amber door, and figure out how we can get it open.
Did you not see the other room?
The other room with
The
the
other
destroyed door.
It was a treasury.
What makes you say the same thing about this other one?
To me, it makes sense they would both be treasuries guarded by that statue. Perhaps I'm wrong,
No, yeah.
but that creature that we just faced seemed to come forth from that amber door. Why would we break open the other seal?
He does have a point.
No, yes, that's quite fair.
Grave robbers, maybe.
Potentially.
If this was a grave.
Well, that's fair. I don't know, I'm just worried that we're not getting closer and we're getting farther away.
Perhaps you're right.
Do you notice a door right there? I'm looking at it.
You can see that, yeah. If you peer closer, you do see the door circle back that direction.
There is another door after this door.
And I'm worried this just leads us through a circular maze, though, as well. We have no idea what we're dealing with fully with this temple. It could very well be somewhere else, but it could also be a way
Would you rather
right back where we
backtrack
came. No,
There's only two options here.
no, yes, and I'm well aware of that. I'm just thinking aloud more, I guess.
I do think we should continue. Just to see.
Yes, let's continue until we're proven wrong that we're going deeper.
You hear footsteps somewhere far back behind. You aren't sure, but they sound like they are coming closer.
We're going.
Can I roll for perception to see if they sound like the Amber
Yeah,
Doll's
absolutely.
footsteps?
Yeah. Roll insight.
Insight? Nat 20.
Okay.
Wow,
With that, yeah,
man.
they
You know
sound
exactly who's
humanoid,
coming.
perhaps about your size. Their footsteps, they sort of scuff along the floor, shuffling quickly. A human moving quickly.
I see one of the druids is coming to meet up with us now.
How sure are you?
Pretty confident.
Should we wait?
No.
Who's at the back?
That would be me and Tatiana.
I want both of you to roll for perception.
Of course. Can my 20 just carry over?
Oh man, it was a 20 and then it turned to an 8.
17.
Well,
17.
with perception?
With perception.
Yeah, 7.
Learn, you see a man, a shell of himself. His face, as he looks about, you notice the way the skin hangs. He's nearly mummified. He's undead. As he sort of scowls, looking about, he's ancient. As he comes walking into this room,
Can we see him?
you two see him, yes. As he comes into this room, you see him before he sees you. What do you do? There's a doorway here.
Does he look dangerous or like that he...
He's clearly undead. As he,
Is the door open between us?
the door between you is sort of ajar. So He hasn't seen you yet, but he comes walking into this room here.
I think we
Let's
should.
keep going.
He walks this
Further into
direction
the room.
and then taps on that door, muttering something. There, suddenly the wall sort of shifts, opening. He
Which-
takes a few steps inside.
Can I walk towards it?
You start walking back this way.
Yes.
As you do, you hear those footsteps coming back up swiftly as they start walking. They went away, and then you hear them coming back towards you. So as they come through, suddenly that door swings closed again, and he steps back into that room. What do? Do you linger? He hasn't seen you yet. Do you linger or do you run?
Let me just take a look at this guy. Is this
That's
action?
not action.
Oh,
back
dang
there.
it. I was like, hey, this guy looks pretty
I would
wise.
say,
Pretty
dang wise.
Yeah, I was like,
He's older, looking decrepit, ancient, mummified skin on this undead creature as he sort of shuffles about. He has long red robes that sort of sway and skit along the floors here as he comes walking back up towards into this room. You hear him coming closer. You have a second to react. What do you do?
I do not
You
react.
do not? You stay still?
Stay there.
Okay.
I just want to play this out.
You see him. Suddenly he comes forth. Daughter!
Yes.
Welcome to the Amber Temple. Tell me, please, young one, please. He steps in through the door. Why are you here? You hear this now, all of you, sort of paralyzed at the sight of him. Casimir sort of puts his hand on that back door there. He eyes you.
I cast protection from evil and good on myself.
You know? Yeah. Describe how that looks.
Well,
Yeah, you sort of touch yourself and all of a sudden this aura
Yeah.
comes about you. It seems weakened by this place, but it still emits.
Listen, to discover the truth.
Truth. Very good, very wise. However, you do not have the look of the wizarding type about you. Well, maybe perhaps this one. So tell me, children, the answer to my question. Conjure me not. I will not enchant thee. I know not the future. The past, it eludes me. Evoke the divine. I have no time. But ask me again, for my study is changing. What am I? Tell me, I will give you once more.
Okay.
And you must tell me this answer, or you must leave. Any wizard with his salt would know. Conjure me not. You see there a tooth loose in his lips. I will not enchant thee. I know not the future. The past, it eludes me. Evoke the divine. I have no time. But ask me again, for my study is changing. What am I? You see Casimir there as he sort of looks down at his hands.
Please, Casimir, save us all.
Not true wizards, then, I fear. Disappointing.
can I roll insight?
I will let you roll Arcana.
Arcana. That's even
He
better.
made a trick towards you. He said something about salt.
I don't
That
think
was
that's
not
what
part
I
of the
said.
No, it's not. Oh, dang! I thought he was saying that specifically to Blake because he's a wizard. I was like,
He was taunting him,
Yeah.
What'd you get?
It's not bad.
15 actually.
Oh, yeah.
That was the DC.
Thank God. Okay.
Conjure me not, I will not enchant thee. I know not the future, the past, it eludes me. Evoke the divine, I haven't the time. But ask me again, for my study is changing. What am I? Conjure, enchant,
Book, a spell book?
future, evoke, divine.
Past eludes me, but the divine.
These are wizard schools.
They're not-
My study is
Yes.
changing. What am
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I? You better know this, Mr. Legacy.
I haven't played long enough.
Conjuration, enchantment. Kroger. Oh.
Yeah.
Future. Divine. Evocation. And oh my gosh, what was the last one? What was the last one?
Study is always changing.
My study is always changing.
Study's changing.
Yes. Oh, transmutation.
Salt! Salt! Transmutation.
Transmutate. Yes.
What school are you, young man? What school?
That's what I was about to say.
Ah.
Yeah, me too.
Not so many chronomancers come this way. Come. Only not through this door. This door is certain death. This way. He leads you to this wall.
I was so right. We should build through this door.
Yeah, I was right.
And there
The truth.
he knocks and says, Combatant. There, the secret room swings open. And that's where we're gonna break.
Oh my goodness.